Hey everyone, this week we will be doing a little bit of design in the third part of the Shiny app series. So if you have not watched parts 1 and 2, please do so. This will be a lot easier to understand if you watch parts 1 and 2. So we're going to get right into it. You can kind of see two new lines of code. If you want to install Shiny Dashboard and you haven't already, just remove that comment and run this line. But if not, if you already have it, you can just run it by library. And so we're going to kind of make it look more inviting, make the tables look more inviting, the plots, so you don't have to scroll down a table and do some other stuff. Also, we're going to add data tables. So again, install.packages dt in parentheses, and then we can say library dt. So we can have data tables. And what data tables is essentially, it's a more designable data table that you can have filters, different types of elements within it, but it's a lot cleaner look. It's a lot more user-friendly look. So I recommend it. There's a lot more tables as well, but for this video, we're going to show the data tables library. So obviously, when you are done installing and you have them, make sure they're loaded. You can obviously load it by just clicking Run App as well. But what we're going to do is we're going to change over some of these inputs because it no longer fits the Shiny Dashboard layout. You have to change it to a specific type of layout. And then we're going to break it down into each part by adjusting each of these values. And a couple things that I changed. Now, instead of saying a fluid page, we have now are saying a dashboard page. And I've added a skin. So when you click on dashboard page here, you can kind of see you have various skins. So you have blue, black, yellow, red, purple, etc. And the one we're going to choose for this video is red. Now, feel free to use any color you want. And then instead of a title panel, we're going to have a dashboard header. And that title, again, will be a basic StatCast app. And then instead of a sidebar layout, we're going to have a dashboard sidebar. And then we'll get into each of the other elements. What we're going to do first is we're just basically going to have nothing as a sidebar. And that may seem a little confusing at first, but hear me out for a second. So then we'll add a comma right there at the end, and then we'll replace main panel now with dashboard body. And now these two will be replaced with various boxes. So here's what I'll show you shortly. So dashboard body, and essentially what this is the layout of your app. So you can put various amounts of things in there as well as different amounts of styling. So one style that I've used typically are boxes, and again, this is under Shiny Dashboard. So we'll just type in box. Kind of see there you have title, you have a footer, status, header, background, so on and so forth. You have height, all this kind of stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to create 3 different boxes for the inputs, for the table, and for the plots. So we're going to say box. We're going to say our width will be 4, and then we're going to do a little copy paste here. And then remove the comments. So that way we have our first box. And we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to change the data table, or the table output, to dt : data table output from the dt package. Again, Shiny also, the library Shiny also has a data table output function, so be wary of that. So again, this is another example of dplyer's filter that I've used in previous videos. I use the package name :: to indicate, hey, I want to use this function from this specific package. And we'll say table. And again, another box width equals 4. And we'll just keep that as plot output. So that should do it, except now I'm just searching for, there we go. So now that we have that, we can actually, what I'll do first is just add a title. So I'll just say title, inputs, and then add another title, which says table width equals 4, and then title equals plot, and another width of 4. So now I'm going to show you how to run this app. Also, before I actually forget it, on the server side, where we have the server layout listed, because again, UI is our user interface, our server is what we'll see displayed. We have to change, since we're, instead of saying rendering or having a table output, we're having a data table output. So instead of saying render table, we will do, again, DT : render data table. Or even render DT works, either or. So we're going to do render data table, and then we're going to run app. Immediately you see here that it's broken down into 3 parts. This is the sidebar panel, or the dashboard sidebar. One way to collapse it is just clicking these 3 bars, and it's good to go that way. But obviously you see that this data table looks a little bit off. So you can kind of see it once I click on other players. You have spray charts, you have the titles listed. So kind of fun stuff here, a little bit better design. But we need to change this table so that way it stays inside the box. And I will show you how to do that relatively quickly. Within this box, we're going to actually run a bit of JavaScript. Now, this JavaScript code essentially is saying, if there's an overflow inside that box, squish it down and allow you to scroll. So one way of saying it is simply by saying div parentheses style equals, and then in quotes the JavaScript code, overflow -y colon scroll semicolon height colon 500px colon end quote. And so real quick, I'll just say that basically it's 500 pixels height, and if you have a greater scroll, which we saw on the app earlier, it will keep it contained, and I will show you shortly what I mean by that. With the JavaScript code written, you can see that within the box the table remains, but again it still looks pretty clunky in terms of design elements. So actually what we're going to do next is we're going to adjust some of the inputs for that box. That way it's a little bit more optimized to, say, the box, the width of the app, and it's more visually pleasing. In our app, we're going to swap the plot with the table and adjust the column width. So a Shiny app has a maximum of, I guess, 12 width lengths, if you will, in one row. So obviously 4 times 3 is 12 in this case. So we're going to adjust to say, instead of saying 4, we're going to say 6, and we're going to move the box with the plot up and also change it to 6. So that way, we're going to remove that, so that way the table gets an entire row all to itself. And I will show you what it looks like here shortly. We can see that The inputs have its own little area, the plot has its own area, and the table has an entire row to itself. And it looks a lot cleaner this way. So again, you can actually, within the data table, you can actually search. So let's say we have Mookie Betts and you want to search a specific pitcher. So let's say Cy Sneed. So you can literally type in Cy Sneed's name and only Cy Sneed's name. Cy Sneed, I apologize, can pull up. And again, this code was repurposed for just having 10 data table rows. But again, you can just adjust that slightly, but it allows for non-over scrolling. So that is the basic StatCast app with Shiny Dashboard. I hope you learned something out of this. I hope this kind of intrigues you to learn more about web app design with Shiny. But next week we will do kind of a little bit more design, but then a little bit more of data table functionality as well. So, and maybe throw in, who knows, maybe throw in a couple extra plots or more elements that are pleasing to improving the StatCast app. So thanks for watching. Really hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. I post videos once a week, and I really want to do this for you guys to learn, to get better with R especially, and now Shiny, to have a web application framework. I mean, it is used in so many professions, and I just really think using R and Shiny is a great way to get your foot in the door, especially for those who want to work in baseball one day. So this is a very beneficial thing, and this helps you become better at programming, one, and two, being able to apply that programming in a web application interface. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.